Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences, raw conversations, one destination for it all. E360 TV.
We are having an event February 24th to the 26th in the beautiful city of Miramar Cultural Center, only 25 minutes away from Miami. Founder Kessa Guden and Commissioner Maxwell B. Chambers of the city of Miramar is putting on a huge event called a Global Awakened Summit and VIP Gala. We would love for you to be there. This is an event you don't want to miss. We have over 35 speakers, each speaker's worth ranging from $3,000 to see them live in person. But at the Global Awakened Summit, you can get your ticket now for only $97. Call 725-200-1773 now or on our website. We look forward to seeing you there. www.globalawakenedevents.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Whole Living Show. And I am so glad that you are here. It's another Wednesday night, and we are joined by an amazing guest as always. So listen, I wanted to talk to you guys about something. Before I do, though, I want to just recognize that Global Awaken Summit. Yours truly will be speaking at this event. Get your tickets. If you are in South Florida, get your tickets. Or if you are somewhere cold and you are looking to get to Florida just to get warm, get some sunshine, and come to an amazing event, get your tickets for the Global Awaken Summit. You can find the link. I will post it in the comments within the show, so you can actually just click the link and actually get your tickets for the event. You want to make sure that you are there. Some amazing speakers are going to be there, some great connections for you, and come to beautiful sunny Florida. So everybody out there, we are going to be talking to an amazing person backstage who is an urban farmer. And I'm not going to introduce her just yet, but I just thought this was so key with what I wanted to talk to you about today because listen, what the heck is in our food? I love that she's doing urban farming because then you know that your food is not compromised, right? So I just want to talk about some of the things that you need to look for. And I'm not going to go into all of them in detail. If you want to know more about them, reach out to me. I would love to help you. But there are some major things that I want you to look for in your food that compromises the nutritional value of the food. And most of them are also known as possible, carcinogens, right? And I'm putting up the air quotes there because they say possible, even though they are known to be carcinogens. And a lot of these things are banned in other countries, okay? So that should tell you that, we should not consume these particular items that you find in food. So before I give you a list of everything, everybody, I just want to say to you, read your labels. Read your labels on your food, especially when you're going to get packaged foods, right? Of course, if you're buying fresh food, hopefully you're getting organic, so you know that they're less contaminated with any fertilizers or anything like that to preserve the crops. But if you're buying something that's in a package, you want to make sure that you are reading the labels. And if you do not understand the ingredients on the label, then don't get it because it's 9 times out of 10 is not good for you. Or, look up that ingredient to make sure that you understand what it is and what you're putting in your body. So I'm just going to give you the list. And again, like I said, if you want to know more about these items, just reach out to me. So the first one is high fructose corn syrup. If it's in there, which it is in a lot of our food, which is why it is number one on my list, because you can find it on so many packaged food items. So you want to make sure that you look out for that. Okay, there's also color dyes. The most common ones are yellow number 5, yellow number 6, and red 40. However, there are others. So if you see blue number something or another yellow number or another red number, you want to make sure that you stay away from those as well. The next thing is titanium dioxide, which is also a food coloring, okay? So you want to make sure you stay away from those food dyes because they're just not good for us. They're there to make the product look attractive. However, they're just not good for your body. The other thing that you want to look out for if you are consuming dairy products are hormones. And there are 2 very common ones that are artificial hormones that are placed in our dairy items called RBST or RBGH. Those are artificial hormones. You want to stay away from those, okay? The other thing I want to talk about is something called BVO. It's what they call an emulsifier. It's brominated vegetable oil. And I would say any vegetable oils you want to stay away from. Also, just not healthy. And then the other one is azodide carbonamide, right? And that's a whitening agent. So you'll find that in a lot of different doughs. It's what they call a dough conditioner. So if you feel like you need to condition your dough with this, it's a known carcinogen. You want to stay away from that as well. So those are some of the top ones, everybody. But I just wanted to put that out there. There is a long list. Okay. I have more, but I don't want to take up the time with the whole show to give you some of these. Let me give you one more though. There's some called BHA and BHT, and those are known as preservatives. So listen, if it's not a natural preservative, then you want to make sure that you're staying away from that too. So the things to look out for are hormones, color dyes, preservatives, high fructose corn syrup. Those are just, my top ones to stay away from, and that BVO, that conditioner, that oil. So those are the top 5. Okay, you want to make sure that you are not ingesting those as much as possible. Okay, so read those labels, stay away from those products. And again, like I said, and I can give you some information on that too, the majority of those products are banned in other countries. So that is a problem. So we want to make sure that we are just being mindful of what we're putting in our body. You want to get the best out of this beautiful vessel that God has given us. So you want to make sure that you're putting in just things that are going to help you restore, replenish, give you energy, and just really take care of your body. So, we're going to get into this conversation with the beautiful guest that is backstage because she is an urban farmer. And I absolutely love this. And you're going to see something special in her background tonight, even. So, I just love that as well. Her name is Yasha Jenkins, aka the urban farmer, as I said. And her background is in fitness and health. No wonder she's the urban farmer, right? And we're going to get into why she's so passionate about it. She's a wellness influencer and health activist in the health and fitness community. She helps people grow their own food in their home, yard, and or their workspace, everybody. So if you want to reach out to this beautiful young lady, she has a website called naturegirlgoddess.com, and we're going to put that on the screen as well a little bit later. But she provides seedlings, plant food, and in-home gardening supplies. So listen, we're going to get into this conversation, and I can't wait for you to see what's behind her because it's absolutely amazing. So without further ado, I want you to give the beautiful Yasha Jenkins a virtual round of applause. And we are going to bring her in the room. Here we go. Hello, hello.
That was a nice intro. I love that. You made me feel
Yes. You are special. You absolutely are. And what you're doing is amazing. So I have to highlight now, she's beautiful all on her own, but look at what's behind her. Also, this is a tower garden, and we're going to let her get into that in a little bit because we want to know more about Yasha first. So, first, I'm going to ask you, Yasha, how did you even get into this health and fitness space? And I love that you said health activists. So tell us how you got into it, but we're going to go into that activist part because that means something more than just being a wellness coach or being passionate about wellness.
Yes. So I would have to say that one of the reasons why I was able to get into health is because I am a former athlete. So I always had to be health conscious to make sure I stay healthy to perform, basically. So after transitioning from a former athlete to more of a sedentary lifestyle, I guess you can say, I had to adjust to my daily eating habits, and I noticed that some of the things I was able to consume when I was playing basketball, I don't know if it's because I got older or because my digestive system was changing as far as my metabolism, but I wasn't able to process certain things the same like I was when I was working out 2-3 times a day because of basketball. I started to do my own research and, practicing on myself on what my body responds to.
And I want to stop you right there because that's really significant, right? Saying practicing on your body, just with the understanding that everybody's body is different, right? So what we can take, right, and what helps to keep us healthy, one from the other may be different. So I love that you said practicing, but keep going.
Yeah, so I started practicing, and the further I started to research and started to learn more about Eastern medicine versus Western, holistic versus American standard. That's when I kind of got into like the pescatarian, then it went to vegetarian, then it went to alkaline. Like, okay, I think I'm gonna be in this area. I think this works.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, when they hear plant-based, they automatically think lose weight and get skinny. But I didn't notice that right away because I was already an athlete. But my acne went away. I noticed that my hair, it grew like weeds. My menstrual cycle went from 5 days down to 3, and sometimes go back and forth from 2 days to 3. A lot of internal changes that I noticed. And then the weight, I feel like it was just based off of stress and activity level.
Yeah, that's so significant though when you think about some of the things that show externally, and that's not even to talk about what could potentially be happening on the inside that we don't see, right? But for you to get the results of the things that, you externally saw, like the acne and the hair growth and just your skin changing, not just with the acne, but like you have glowing skin and clear, like very clear, glowing skin. And then to see some of the weight loss, come off, the weight come off, and just the things that really happen with our bodies, the cycle, so the fact that your hormones even, regulated, I'm going to say, right? Because and I know a lot of people say that too, like when you are plant-based, some of the things that happen, especially with women with the menstrual cycle, like the hormones change a lot. But because I was just talking about some of the things that they put in our food, those hormones, right? We're putting more in our body, which is affecting our body. So the less you do, the better your body will adapt to what it's supposed to be, right? So I love that you talked about those external factors. Not to mention, I'm sure, if you went to the doctor and had some blood work done before and after, you would see some internal changes as well. Yeah, so just continue with this journey because I want to get into that tower garden. I mean, you guys, that is a pretty picture back there, and it may look fake, but it's not.
No, actually touch it.
Right. Those are real vegetables. And actually, when we were backstage, you could hear the water running on this. So I just love that you can just do this right in your home. So we'll get into that in a minute. But talk about that activist piece that you mentioned in your bio.
Yeah. So the reason why I would have to say health activist is because it's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
Like we especially here in America, I'm American, you're American.
Mm-hmm.
We are born and raised to just adapt to what society say.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't question anything in regards to what society says is the standard when it comes to nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
So I became an activist because I felt like it needed to be more people talking about other alternatives.
Mm-hmm.
Now it doesn't mean that it's the best option, but you can have options.
Yeah.
Most people think that American standard diet is it, and it's like, no, you got Mediterranean,
Mm-hmm.
you got so many other different
Mm-hmm.
nutrition options that you can try. So I feel like activists, it just lets people know that they don't have to limit themselves when it comes to what they put on their plate or what's in their.
Yeah. And even when you think about holistic practices too, right? In other countries, like I'm a big fan of, and I'm getting more into it, but Ayurveda, right? And how they practice in India.
Yeah.
And then even with even some of the Chinese ways of practicing just holistic methods of taking care of our bodies. So, and like I mentioned, some of those things in the beginning, a lot of the items that I talked about are banned in other countries. Other countries do not accept those items in their food. So it makes you wonder why here in this country we allow that to continue to happen, right? That we continue to put these known carcinogens in our food. So talk to me about, what you think about that, because as you started to do the research and as you started to become more, holistic and even alkaline, I want to talk about that too. But as you started to do all of that, talk about, what you think about the things that we have in our food.
I agree that it is not healthy for us. I mean, even like think about the state of Oregon here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Not even allowed to cross over the state line with GMO. Like
Mm-hmm.
they already have certain things just in their state that you're not allowed, cross over. So, unfortunately, I want to say America is top 5 as far as health,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in a correlation to why those other countries ban what we allow.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some reasons why we are in the top 5 as far as unhealthy. It's not
Mm-hmm.
always about food, of course.
Right.
If you can factor in the cost of living,
Mm-hmm.
factor in the lack of activity. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can factor in just the American dream as a whole. Like,
Yeah. And the air we breathe, right?
yeah,
Like
all
there's so many factors. Yeah, stress factors because of, the lack of balance,
mm,
right? When it comes to just, that
work.
kind of work life. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we've got Brandy Johnson saying, "Grand evening, y'all. Thank you, sis, for joining us. We appreciate you, and grand evening to you as well." That's my girl there. That's my sis, Brandy Johnson. We thank you. So, yeah, so let's talk about the alkaline piece of this because I'm interested in that as well. And talk to people about what alkaline actually is, too, right? Because some people may not know.
Okay.
Ah, and wait, I'm going to recognize somebody else here. We have the beautiful Iris Cardona. Love Iris. Iris is also doing alkaline diet. She's
I,
an amazing nutritionist as well and just into holistic health and healing also. So talk to us about alkaline and what that means.
okay. So alkaline is pretty much like pH, right?
Hmm.
Potential nitrogen.
Hmm.
So when you look at the pH scale, you got the middle, the median, and then you have alkaline on this side, and then you have acidic on this side.
Hmm.
Goal is to be in the median.
Hmm.
um, with the country we live in, and because of like pollution and all that kind of stuff, you want to be a little more towards the alkaline, just
Hmm.
because they sneak a lot of different things. Like you might think you're eating pasta and mac sauce, but you're eating
Hmm.
more than just the sauce and the noodle.
Yeah,
If you Okay.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So you want to eat more of a raw plant base.
Hmm.
When you and then if you do cook your food, you want it under a certain temperature. I want to say 200 degrees or less.
Okay. Okay.
So more of an alkaline.
Hmm.
Leafy greens, the Laguna beans,
Hmm.
the seeds. What else? I mean, it's a long list. The seaweeds, the Irish
Hmm.
mosses,
Hmm.
the different algae. Like there's so many different things that are on the alkaline side, but you
Hmm.
balance it out though.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, want to try
Right.
to that median.
Yeah. And
So
I
I
love that you said that because being too alkaline is not good for you as well as being too acidic, right? So I'm glad that you said you want to balance it out.
Mhm.
And I know, like, listen, everybody, if you want to learn about it or if you want to know what your pH levels are, there are things that you can buy right on the market. You can go to Amazon and listen, I'm not no plug for Amazon because I don't get anything from Amazon, but it's just well known. So, so you can go there. You can get those pH strips where you can test your pH levels as well, but you should be at like a 7, right?
Yeah,
Yasha, with the number is 7, or they give you a color chart and you can look at the colors and see where you need to be when it comes to being alkaline. I want to mention the alkalinity too, and why it's so significant to me is because it helps you balance at the cellular level. And what
yeah,
people don't realize, I think, is if you can change your blood cells, you're able to fight disease and disease, right? So you're able to fight all of that. You take the stress out of your blood cells. And when you can get to that cellular level, you want to make sure that you are pH balanced for that perspective and reason. So talk to us a little more about that and just how because it probably sounds scary to people, especially when you just talked about eating raw, right? And when I cleanse, I eat raw. And when I try to get people to cleanse with me, they're like, I don't want to eat raw. I want hot food. So talk to us about a little bit more about the significance of that and what you get from raw eating and raw living.
of course. So you mentioned earlier that my skin glows.
Hmm.
Or I have a glow. Thank you
Yeah.
for the compliment.
Yes.
Um, and you said that you just get a more nutritional value when you eat raw. The
Hmm.
reason why is because when you eat foods that are more on the alkaline side, you're eating something that has oxygen.
Hmm.
So the more oxygen that's in the food, the more you're feeding your blood. Like your blood, like think of your blood as a vampire.
Hmm.
The more oxygen you give it, the more you purify your body. So
Yeah.
just that way. Now
Yeah.
my blood is
Can
pure.
I got to stop you for 1 second because I just want people to understand the significance of that, because you are so like speaking my language. You're making me so happy on the inside. But listen, you guys, when you do that, right, it's hard for I'm going to just say the bad cells, right? It's hard for all of those things that disease comes from to live in your body when you put that oxygen in your cells. So keep going, Yasha, because this is some good stuff here.
So when you purify your blood, I mean, you clean your skin out, right? When you purify your blood, your ligaments, tendons, bones, they function properly. When you purify your blood, your sexual organs work properly.
Okay. Hey, everybody, really?
Don't need that Viagra, no extra.
Right. That's right. Men are going to be jumping all over this now.
It also prevents eczema from the skin. That's the largest organ, the skin. So your skin really reflects how much oxygen you really have in your body. Your scalp, if you have dandruff really, really bad, or let's say you're suffering from hair loss for whatever reason, there's blood not circulating in that area. And that's why some people get like injections to increase that blood flow.
Yeah.
Blood flow can be from hormones, stress, it can be from anything. But the point is there's no blood flowing. Why?
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. I just want to address the comments. We got Jamie Lane coming in live. Thank you, Jamie. She said, I heard sexual organs. Great time. Great timing. That's right, Jamie. I knew she was going to pick up on that one. And we got my beautiful mom out there saying hello now. Yes. Hey, Mom. Yes. So, to talk about that too. So I'm going to give a quick story, because you're talking about the blood circulation and the blood flow. So I had these heavy menstrual periods, which is why alkalinity is like more attractive to me now, right? And for all the things that you were mentioning before. But they told me 2 years ago that I had issues with hemoglobin. And if you know about hemoglobin, when you have issues with hemoglobin, you're not getting enough oxygen in your blood.
Okay.
Right. Which then means that you're not carrying enough oxygen. Your blood's not circulating as it should, and you're not carrying enough oxygen through your body. Right. And it's because of the loss of blood. However, like you said before, because you mentioned it earlier, if you change what you're eating, that starts to change the cycle, which then will change the flow, which then will allow the oxygen to get in. I wanted to mention this to everybody. I'm giving you my own story, because when you do these things, it starts to trickle, right? It's a trickle effect, right? And then all those things start to happen. You bring in the good food, and you bring in the nutrition, and you start the blood flowing, and then you bring in the oxygen, and then you affect the cycle. And so, like you were talking about this earlier. So I just want everybody to catch this now. I want you to catch it. So, continue, Yasha, because you're just giving people some amazing information.
Yes. Another reason why alkalinity is a good alternative. I'm not even gonna say the best. I know some people are like, I'm American Standard and I'm doing just fine. Okay, why you AR straight then? You know what I mean? Like, but so back to the blood. Your liver needs it. Your kidney needs it. Your blood needs. Your heart needs it to pump. You know what I mean? Other reasons, your hormone levels, it balances out your hormone levels. Because it's one thing to look healthy on the outside, like, oh, I'm skinny, but people think skinny is a correlation to health.
I gotta stop you again there, because I always talk about this too. Skinny is not. I've been skinny all my life, and I had breast cancer, everybody. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're
I'm a breast cancer survivor, that's the reason why I changed my life, Yasha. But I just wanted to mention that, because I've always been skinny. Skinny does not equate to healthy. So, listen to what this young lady is saying. She knows what she's talking about. Keep going.
Well, congratulations on beating that. I would have never guessed. Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, so being skinny is not necessarily a correlation to health and being healthy, and also quote unquote thick is not a correlation either. You're is really what matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are people who have a 6-pack with no thyroid.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gone. It got
Mm-hmm.
removed. You were born with that thyroid for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's more of an internal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
We
Thanks.
got,
Oh,
we got Mr. Charles Smith, the amazing Mr. Charles Smith out there. Thank you for
and
commenting as well.
like the point opening my eyes. It is good for your vision.
Yeah.
Oxygen, blood, like you need that. When
Yeah.
people can't see, this is dry.
Mm.
There's no fluid in your eye.
Mm.
There's no blood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then
Yeah.
if you want to keep inflammation, osteoporosis, you want to keep arthritis. That's all in a correlation to some fluids not circulating properly.
Yes. And you said something really key earlier too when you talked about the organs, right? That need the oxygen, right? And need your blood to flow properly. So the way the body works, everybody, is, your blood goes up into your heart, right? Your heart is basically helping to like clean this blood out so that it can distribute it back to your organs. And that cycle continues to happen. So when you give your body the things that are going to help to replenish it and give it the oxygen, that process works so much better, right? So that your organs can function properly. So I get crazy when it comes to this stuff because Yasha is just talking some really good stuff here. And I want everybody to really pay attention because this is the way, this is the key for you to start living healthier, to reduce the inflammation, like she said, to allow your organs to do what they're meant to do, right? And not clog them up with the things that, some of the things that we keep mentioning here and some of the things that I had mentioned earlier. So please continue because you are really giving some great information. I just want people to catch on. That's why I'm going to keep stopping you to say that. Catch it, everybody.
But just to add to, the alkaline, what it does for your blood levels, what it does for circulation, it also increases your energy. Another thing I noticed is body odor and oral hygiene. Because I made my transition back in 2015. So ever since I made my transition, I can smell when someone's a meat eater. I couldn't, but now I smell it. I can smell what they have for breakfast. I can smell what they drink.
Wow.
And I can smell like I don't mean to be too graphic, but I can go 2 days and I won't be musty.
I love that. I love it. Yeah.
Some people, because of the toxins that they put in their body, if they go 6 hours without deodorant, they in a room somewhere. Who is that?
Yes.
Who
yes.
Today?
Yes.
Just little things like
that. Yeah. And even the things that you release, right, from your body. And I'm going to talk from the woman's perspective, like a woman and what she has to go through monthly. And then just our normal releasing, right, of toxicity. The smell, there is no smell like, what you smell when you're eating all the garbage, right? So, yeah. So
even with the menstrual cycle, like if you can smell metal during your menstrual cycle, those are
yeah. And even when people smell things like what almost smells like ammonia, right? That's coming out of your body. No, these are real things. I want people to understand when your body is really toxic and almost septic, right? When you think about it, when you can smell certain smells like what you're mentioning, metals and ammonia, there's something wrong. And these changes that Yasha is mentioning are things that you can do to assist your body in getting back to what it's naturally supposed to do and how it's even naturally supposed to smell. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Everybody, please do not go anywhere. You see here, the information that she's giving you is like none other. And we want to talk to her about how you can urban farm as well, right in your home. You see that amazing tower garden right there. So you do not want to go anywhere. We are going to come back with Yasha so we can talk about this so that everybody, you can, if this is something that you really want to do and you want to change your life, you can get started with urban farming, and you can do this right here with Miss Yasha Jenkins. So here we go, everybody. We will be right back. And we are back, everybody. And listen, if you have not caught the first part of this show, you want to make sure that you go back and watch because we have Yasha Jenkins here, the urban farmer, who is giving some really good tips on how you can get your body right. And we've been talking about, living an alkaline lifestyle with an alkaline diet so that you can protect your body. So I don't want to delay this any further. We want to get Miss Yasha Jenkins back in the room, and we're going to give her a minute. There she goes. We're going to give her a minute there. And I see her there. She's coming back in because we don't want to delay this any further, everybody. So this information is like second to none. I just want to say that she's absolutely amazing in what she has been sharing with us. So again, like I said, if you missed the first half, you want to go back and watch, but stay tuned right now. We're going to get into this a little bit more. So talk to us about, the importance of growing your own food, and now people have options now to do it right in their home.
Right in their home. The cool thing about urban gardening is that even if you, like, let's say we help out a lot of teachers. So let's say you have a classroom, you can literally take it to your classroom, grow it in front of your kids. Kids love it.
Yeah.
Especially when they can choose their own seeds. Watch it grow. Like it's really cute to watch.
Yeah.
But it really is an amazing experience. One of the reasons why I got into it is because one, I am a health activist. So and I come from the city. Girl. So I don't know anything about agriculture. I don't know anything about that. I don't know what's seasonal
right
to grow. But once I got into the aeroponic system, I started to learn, okay, I can't grow this food right now because it's not the season. Even though it's a living room, I'll still attempt to grow it. I'm not even I just want to try. Like I am learning.
Yeah.
So it's an aeroponic system, and the reason why it's called aeroponic is just think of Greek mythology. You got air, and then ponic just means labor. So you're eliminating the actual farm labor, the tractor, the shovels, the soil, all being grown in my living room without soil.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there go the lights.
There goes the light. So even the fact that this system times the right timing for the light and the water, because we heard the water earlier before we got on the show. So that's even amazing, right? That it does that work for you.
It does all that for you. So and my so it's 24 hours in a day, right? Mine is set for, I think it's set for 8x16. So I think it's on for 16, off for 8 or something like that.
Okay.
On 16, off 8. So it just gonna be off for the rest of the night.
Okay.
It'll come back on around, I want to say I have it set for 4 or 5 in the morning.
Okay.
And then it'll be on all day up until this time again tomorrow.
Nice. Okay.
Yep. And then
so it's following the sunlight. Absolutely. I love it. Okay.
And not only does it do that, but it also has the water that's inside of it. It comes with a pump. It runs every 45 minutes, but it only waters for 5.
Nice. So okay.
Night I can hear it watering, and
her name is what?
Isis.
Isis. I love it. Why Isis?
I don't know. It's just she told me.
Okay. I love it. So I want you to address Jamie's question out there. She says, why no sunlight? Lack of sunlight, wouldn't it affect the nutrient profile?
No, so that's what the LED lights are for.
Okay.
Yep. And like I said, mine's is 16x8, but some people do 10x14.
Okay.
Some people do 12x12. Now, people who live in a climate like Florida, California, places where they don't experience all 4 seasons, they need this.
The LED light. Okay.
Because most of them grow outside.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. So now, if you have these outside, how do you keep it away from, the little creatures that like to have fun with the food, because they do it when you're gardening. So,
So I see a lot of people make their own greenhouses with this,
okay.
or have like a green net,
Mm-hmm.
fish net kind of thing that
Mm-hmm.
they like build around it because they've had issues.
Yeah, yeah. I would imagine. Yeah,
Rabbit,
yeah,
squirrels,
yeah,
raccoon. I didn't
yeah.
even fish other than
Right.
I was like raccoons. I thought they trash.
They eat whatever. They eat whatever they can find. They're like scavengers, so they eat whatever they can find.
I didn't even.
Um, yeah. So Jamie's saying, isn't Isis an Egyptian princess or goddess?
She is. I
Uh,
think that's what she is. Yeah.
yeah. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Every day I wake up, I'll be like, Isis, are you getting enough water? Because I do talk to her.
Good, good.
Yeah, I talk to all my plants. I got another
Mm-hmm.
plant there called Essence.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And does that, since you mentioned that, does that help with the tower garden, right? Having other life plants in the house.
I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a plant that's called a spider plant,
Mm-hmm.
and it keeps like insects away from it.
Very
Yeah,
nice. Okay. Love that. Okay.
a arrowroot for just more oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
uh, lavender's in my room.
Okay. I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh, this is so good. So now tell everybody, how do they get one? How do they get educated on using it,
Hmm.
right? So that people can do it if they want to. Jamie's saying we're all about plants. Love it. Love it.
So my website is called naturegirl.com, but
Mm-hmm.
to learn about it first, we have calls every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I post the flyers as frequently as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else? Yeah, so every Saturday at 8 p.m. We also have our own private Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us take turns just showing each other how to set it up.
Okay.
We kind of like to do it as a group because it eliminates the one-on-one so much because some people get
Mhm.
stuck in different parts, but it's good for everybody to see what they're doing because they're learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we do that on our private Facebook. We on our private Facebook we also talk about what plant is struggling with growing. We talk about why is this seed not blossoming like this one. Like
Mhm.
we pretty much have our own community.
Yeah, that's
But-
really great.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's so good. And then people can just learn from each other.
Yes.
So talk to us about what you can and can't actually grow on the tower garden, because we were talking about this backstage, but let everybody know.
Yeah. So on the tower garden, you can grow all peppers,
Okay.
green, red, yellow. You can grow jalapenos. You can grow cucumbers. You can
Hmm.
grow any leafy possibly think of. You can
Hmm.
grow flower, any herb. I'm not going to
Hmm.
talk about legal ones. I have not tried them.
Right. Right.
But a lot of people be asking me, can I grow all herb? I'm like, bruh, okay. So you
I
can
know nothing about that, right?
yeah, you can grow strawberries. You can grow melons.
Hmm.
And you can grow squash. I've seen someone grow yellow squash. Now, as far as pumpkin,
Hmm.
uh, maybe a small one. And I've seen people grow the baby watermelon.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Now, as far as like bananas, apples, like, fruits that come from like the trees,
Hmm.
blueberry that comes from a bush.
Hmm.
So things like that you can't grow.
Okay.
Um, but
And is
yeah,
it just because those need soil?
yeah,
Is that
those
the
are
reason
those
why?
are different. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
apple trees that take about 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Mr. Charles Smith is asking, what is the cost range for the Tower Garden?
Yeah, so it is monthly. We
Hmm.
don't do like I mean, there are people that buy it up front,
Hmm.
but if you go to my website, you'll see that the monthly range from 85 a month to 90.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I'm just going to put that up there again so everybody knows the website. So that's naturegirlgoddess.com. Make sure you go. What's that?
Did you hear it just came on?
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Uh,
The water came on again. I love that though. I love that it times it, so because it takes you having to think about it and then forget and then have to go do it, because that's gonna just completely take the cycle off for the plant, for the vegetation, right? And you don't want to do that. You want to make sure. So I love that they have it set up that way where you can do that. So listen, everybody, you want to go to naturegirlgoddess.com and you want to get your tower garden right here from Yasha, and then join her group as well so you can learn how to use your tower garden when you get it. Right? So so listen, I want to talk to you about some of the other things that you're doing too, because I just want to highlight you. I know that you are multifaceted, and I don't want to skip over that, even though you are a health activist. But I know that you are musically inclined, and also you are a performer. So I didn't want to skip over that part. I wanted to give you some time to talk about some of your other dreams and goals. I know you're super passionate about health and wellness. Thank you, Brandy, for putting Yasha's website in the comments as well. So I just wanted to put that up there. We appreciate you, because then people can just click on that right now. And Charles is saying that's a great investment for being independent. You can grow your own food. I absolutely agree. Yes. Yes. So, okay, I want to get into more about, the beautiful Yasha and some of the other things that you knew I was going to do it too. You see, I've had the opportunity to get to know you, and I know that you're amazing, and I know that you're doing other things to, just serve this world and give people, more of Yasha. So talk to us about how that's going, because it's been a couple of months since we actually had a conversation, but I do see you in those clubhouse streets, in some of those rooms where there are some artistic things going on. So talk to us about that part of Yasha.
Yeah, so I can sing, but it's not one of those things where I'm like passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I do for fun.
Okay.
Acting.
Okay.
Acting and modeling. I made the decision to go for it this year.
Okay.
Didn't know you was gonna call me out about it.
you should have known that.
I up all night. So yeah, I made the decision to do it this year. I've been an athlete my whole life, so I always wanted to do acting. I always wanted to be a dancer. I always wanted to be a singer, but because of the environment I came from, it just wasn't supported.
Okay.
Basketball was you either play a sport or you gangbang. Which one you want?
Right.
It didn't work out for me. I got like years old. I was like, no, cool. I'm just my mama. I can do this. So it didn't work out for me.
And we're glad it didn't. We are glad it did not.
I was missing her. Yeah. So I was like, no, this ain't gonna work out for me. I think I'm gonna leave this alone. So I got out. I started playing basketball. I took it more serious. Accidentally got good at it. But again, it wasn't my passion though. I never, once I seen that basketball can take me to other states, to other countries, I was like, maybe this is what's going to get me out of my situation.
Yeah.
I ended up falling in love with it. And I kind of lost my voice and my identity in it. So when I lost basketball, I kind of fell in a very, very deep depression for probably about 4 years. So I probably say about last year, I started to climb up out of that depression. And I'm like, all right, now that I got rid of that, there's this one thing I still haven't tried yet. So that's what brought me, to acting, modeling, and all that other stuff.
And I don't have the picture that's on the flyer on the stream on here on the platform, right? But the picture is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so you got to make sure you're putting that picture out when you are going out there for, I don't know what the technical names are for going out and getting your
auditioning.
The auditions. Okay, that's simple. Couldn't think of that. To blame that on my older brain here, but so when you're going out and you're auditioning, it's a beautiful picture, absolutely beautiful. So we want to definitely support you in that. So whenever there are things that are coming up for you, that you are going to be in, because we're going to claim that, right? We're claiming that, you know, you're going to have many roles coming up. You definitely have to come back on and share that. Give us a piece, a clip, something that's going on. Allow us to support you and have people go out and, you know, watch your movies and watch your shows on television, because it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
We already know
already
that.
happened. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So, you know, what are some final words that you want to give people before we end the show?
That's a good question, Miss Tracy. My final words would be allow this year to be your year for self-expression. In self-expression, there's no such thing as pretty or ugly. It's you know what I mean? So allow this year to be self-reflection. And then once you self-reflect, express yourself, express who you really are, like find your voice again. Have that inner child. We all have it. I don't care if you're or 76, everyone's still childish. So allow that inner child to just be, and make sure you're in an environment where you're comfortable. You. I would leave that for people.
I love it. I love it. You see why she's a guest on the show, everybody, because she's absolutely amazing. And I want to share her social media. She's on IG. She is IS_NatureGirl44 _ on LinkedIn. She is Yasha Jenkins. Her personal IG is Yasha Jenkins. So you can reach out to her on those multiple platforms, everybody, and stay tuned in what's coming next, because I expect that she will be posting about all of her shows that are going to be coming up and movies. And here is her website, also naturegirlgoddess.com. And you've been listening to her all night. She knows what she's talking about when it comes to health. She is a health activist, and she can help you get your life in order, particularly too if you want to purchase a tower garden because you want to get started with growing your own food, your own vegetation in your home. Reach out to her on her website. She can help you do that and get you straight. She's got some education that goes along with it as well. So you will not be left out there trying to figure out how to do it once you get it in your home. Right. So just wanted to mention that as well. It has been absolutely amazing having you here on the show, Yasha. I love everything that you have shared. You are just a wealth of knowledge and just a beautiful person all around. So I thank you for being here. And, you know, you definitely have to come back. So, you know, the doors are always open. I sound like the church, right? The doors are open. The doors are always open, but the doors are always open. I appreciate you. And everybody, listen, stay tuned for another episode of The Whole Living Show. We will be back next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we want to see you here. And we are out. Take care, everybody. We love you. And we thank you for joining the show. Mwah.